Water flows from a tap at the rate of 27 cubic centimeter per second into a rectangular container of length 60 centimeter, breadth 30 centimeter, and height 40 centimeter. If at 6 p.m. the container was half full, what will be the height of water at 6:04 p.m.? Now, you can clearly see that within 1 second, the tank receives water of 27 cubic centimeter. Now, between 6 and 6:04, we have 4 minutes there, which is equivalent to 4 times 60 seconds. Now, in 4 times 60 seconds, how much water will have entered the tank? We take 4 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 27, we get that it is 6,480 cubic centimeter. Now we are told the tank is half full, and we have the measurement of the tank. So we shall get the volume, remembering that if the tank is half full and we have been given the height is 40, it means that the water is reaching a height of 20. So if you multiply 60 times 30 times 20, we get this is 36,000 cubic centimeter. Now, the total water in the tank is at 6,000 cubic centimeter plus 6,480, the water that has just entered in the tank within 4 minutes, and then we get the total to be 42,418. Now we have the volume of the water in the tank, we know the breadth, we know the width, the length. We can find the height at 6:04. So we take 42,480 cubic centimeter is equal to 60 times 30 times height, and then we divide 42,480 by 60 and 30, we get that the height is 23.6 centimeter. A rectangular base of 2.4 meter by 2.8 and a height of 3 meter contains 3,600 liters of water initially. Water flows into the tank at the rate of 0.5 liters per second. Calculate the time in hours and minutes required to fill the tank. Now, first of all, let's find the capacity of the tank, or the total volume of the tank. So we shall take the base area times the height. The base area is 2.4 times 2.8 and the height of 3. We get that the the tank can hold water of 20.16 cubic meter. Now we have been told that at least the tank is containing 3,600 liters of water. Now let's find how empty the tank is. We shall take 20.16 cubic meter minus the 3,600 liters. If converted to cubic meters, we divide by 1,000, because 1,000 liters make 1 cubic meter. So we find that the tank is empty by 16.56 cubic meter. Now we have been given in 1 second. In 1 second, that what happens? In 1 second, the tank receives water at of 0.5 liters. Now we convert this 0.5. This 0.5, you convert it into cubic meter by divided by 1,000, and this second we convert it into hours by dividing it by 3,500. 3,600. So here we shall say 0.5 over 100 cubic meters is received by the tank in 1 over 3,600 hours. What about the remaining empty space, water to fill that space? We know, therefore, the water of 16.56 meter cubic has to take how many hours to fill the tank? We multiply 16.56 multiplied by 1 over 3,600 and then divide by 0.5 over 100, or just multiply by the spoke of 4 of that 0.5 100. We get that it will take 9.2 hours to fill the tank. This is equivalent to 9 hours and 12 minutes. Akinyi, Bundi, and Akinyi, Bundi, Kura, and Diba invested some money in a business in the ratio of 7 to 9 to 10 to 14 respectively. The business realized a profit of 46,800. They shared 12% of the profit equally and the remainder in the ratio of their contribution. Calculate the total amount of money received by Diba. Now we get 12% of 46,800, which is 5,616. Now we divide equally. You can see in the third column on this table, I've divided equally. I've divided equally among the partners. Now what remains is 41,184. This one has to be shared in the ratio of their contribution, so that Akinyi gets 7 over 40. The system I was using rounded up to 0.2%, but it is 0.125 if you take 7 over 40. Bundi gets 9 over 40, Kura gets 10 over 40, and Diba gets 14 over 40 of the amount, 41,184. So the second last column, which I've said the remainder, you can clearly see what they are getting. Akinyi gets 7.2K, Bundi 9.2K, Kura 10.2K, but we are concerned about Diba. Diba gets 14,414.4. Then add to what they shared equally 1,404. The total amount that Diba got was 15,818 and 80 cents. Atieno and Kamau started a business by contributing 25,000 and 20,000 shillings respectively. At the end of the year, they realized a profit of 81,000. The profit was allocated to development, dividends, and reserves in the ratio of 4 to 5 to 6 respectively. The dividends were then shared in the ratio of their contributions. Calculate the dividend paid to Atieno. Now we can have some statistics where we have the allocation. You can see I've written that table, the allocation ratio and the amount. Now development was getting 4 over 15 of the whole amount, which is 21,600. Dividends was getting 5 over 15 of the whole amount, which you can clearly see I've written as 27,000. And reserves was getting 6 over 15 of the whole amount, which is 32,400. Now, we are told the dividends are to be shared in the ratio of their contribution. Now you take like Atieno, her ratio is 5 over 9. That is 25 over the total of 25 and 20, according to their contribution. Atieno contributes 25,000, kama contributed 20. So 25 over 45, you get 5 over 9. So out of the dividend of 27, Atieno goes 15. Kamau gets 12. But we are concerned about Atieno. So Atieno got 15,000. That is 5 over 9 multiplied by 27,000 is 15,000 shillings. Three business partners, Atieno, Wambui, and Mweni, contributed 50,000 shillings and 40,000 shillings, and they decided to share in the ratio of their contribution. If Mweni share was 10,000, by how much was Atieno share more than Wambui? Now we can see the contributions. Atieno, Wambui, and Mweni. The questionnaire, I omitted something, but let me clarify. Contribution Atieno was 50, Wambui 40, Mweni 25. Now the proportion of what they should share is Atieno is 10 over 23, Wambui 8 over 23, and Mweni 5 over 23. Now we are told Mweni share was 10,000. Now how do you get Atieno? If 5 over 23 is 10,000, what will it be? 10 over 23, 10 over 23 will be 20,000. And what will be 8 over 23? It will be 16,000. And then we have to compare how much more was Atieno's share than Wambui. So you subtract 20 minus 16, we get it is 4,000. A group of 5 people can do a piece of work in 6 hours. Calculate the time a group of 8 people working at the rate of the working at half the rate of the first group we take to complete the same work. Now, if the first group is working at a rate, let's say 1, what they are doing is 5 times 1 times 6, the work they are doing. Now, if a second group is to work at a rate of half the amount of the first people, because the second group has more people, 8, we expect their work to be lesser, but also more because they are doing at half the rate of the other persons. So that's why we shall take the work of the first group divided by the number of the people in the second group and the rate at which they are working. So we get that they will have to finish that work in 7.5 hours. In a fundraising committee of 45 people, the ratio of men to women is 7 to 2. Find the number of women required to join the existing committee so that the ratio of men to women is changed to 5.4. Now, we shall have to write the ratio the way I've written here, 7.2. And then we have the number of people is 45. We divide that 45 into the ratio of 7 to 2. That gives us that 5 men, 10 women. Now let's have the other ratio. The other ratio is 5 to 4. Now we shall keep the men's number constant to be 35. Now we want the women to be 4 as the ratio. So we shall equate the ratio. 5 over 4 is equals to 35 over x, which we don't know. So we work for the value of x. X we find it to be 28. So we need at least 28. We need 28 women, not at least. We need 28 women, so that the ratio of men to women to be 5 to 4. Now remember, in the initial ratio of 7 to 2, there were 10 women. So if we need 28, it means we need 18 more women so that the ratio becomes 5 to 4. Abdi sold a radio costing 3,800 shillings at a profit of 20%. He earned a commission of 22.5% on the profit. Find the amount he earned. So we shall look at the cost of the radio as our statistics. It is 3,800. And now, what will be the selling price? The selling price shall take 120 of 3,800. It becomes 4,560 shillings. Now the profit is you subtract the selling price from the cost of the radio. That is 4560 minus 3800 gives us 760 shillings. Now the commission is to be 22.5% of the profit, 22.5% of the profit. So you take 22.5% of the profit, and we find that the commission he earned was 171 shillings. Two alloys, A and B, are each made up of copper, zinc, and tin. In alloy A, the ratio of copper to zinc is 3 to 2, and the ratio of zinc to tin is 3 to 5. Determine the ratio copper to zinc to tin in alloy A. B. Mass of alloy B is 250 kilograms. Alloy B has the same mass as alloy A, but the amount of copper is 30 less than that of alloy A. Calculate 1. The mass of tin in alloy A. 2. The total mass of zinc and tin in alloy B. C. Given the ratio of zinc to tin is in alloy B is 3 to 8, determine the amount of tin in alloy B than in alloy A. Now, first of all, we shall have some statistics. You can see which I will put in the table. We have alloy A and alloy B. Now, statistics for alloy A is that copper to zinc is 3 to 2. In alloy B, statistics are zinc to tin is 3 to 5. Now, we need to make the value of zinc as a ratio to be equal, because you can see zinc is a common factor between the alloys. So to make zinc in B and A to be equal, we shall have to multiply the side of alloy A by 3. So if you multiply the ratio of copper 3, it becomes 9. With 3, it becomes 9. The ratio of zinc, if you multiply with 3, it becomes 6. Now the part of alloy B shall multiply by 2. So 2 if you multiply by the ratio of zinc, it becomes 6. 2 if you multiply by the ratio of tin, it becomes 10. So you can see that our new ratio now becomes copper to zinc for alloy A is 9:6. Uh, Zinc to tin in alloy B is 6:10. So you can see the alloy zinc, we have harmonized zinc for both alloys. Zinc is 6:6. The ratio is still the original one, 3 to 2 for alloy A and 3 to 5 for alloy B. But we are just trying to make zinc equal so that we can now work out the queries we have been asked. Now, query 1, I have been told, determine the ratio of copper, zinc, tin in alloy A. Now, what we do, we take the ratios, the new ratios we have gotten there in the table, the last row in the table. So copper is 9, zinc is 6, and tin is 10. So the ratio, the new ratio is 9 to 6 to 10. Part B, you have been asked. The mass of alloy A is 250 kilograms. Alloy B has the same mass as alloy A, but the amount of copper is slightly less than that of alloy A. Calculate A, the mass of tin in alloy A. Now, if you add the total ratio of 9 to 6 to 10, we get is 25. Now, out of that 25, 10 is only 10. So you take 10 over 25 multiplied by 250, you get that the mass of tin is 100 kilogram. Now, part 2 we have been asked the total mass of zinc and tin in alloy A. Sorry, in alloy B. The total mass of zinc and tin in alloy B. Now here we have been told something that the amount of copper in B is 30 less than that in A. What's the amount of copper in A? The amount of copper in A, you take 6 over 10 multiplied by 250. Once I've gotten that figure, multiply by 70% to get the amount of copper in alloy B. If you multiply by 70% to get the amount of copper in alloy B is 63. Now, take 250 kilogram because that alloy B has a mass of 250 kilogram less the amount of copper, which is 63 kilogram. You get that what is remaining of that alloy, zinc and tin, is 187 kilogram. Now, part C, you have been told if now the ratio of zinc to tin is 3 to 8. Now, what is the amount of tin in that alloy? Remember, we have gotten that zinc and tin is 187. Now, the ratio of 3 to 8, it means that tin is 8 over 11. Multiplied by that 187, so tin is 136 kilogram. But remember, in alloy A, we got that the amount of tin was 100 kilogram. So if you subtract 136 and 100 kilogram, we find that alloy B has more tin than alloy A by 36 kilogram. A farmer had 450 bags of maize, each having a mass of 112 kilogram. After drying the maize, the mass decreased in the ratio of 15 to 16. Calculate the total mass lost after maize dried. That's B. A trader bought and repacked the dried maize in 90 kilogram bags. He transported the maize in a lorry which could carry a maximum of 120 bags per trip. 1. Determine the number of trips the lorry made. 2. The buying price of a 90 kilogram maize bag was 1,500 shillings. The trader paid 2,500 shillings per trip to transport the maize to the market. He sold the maize and made a profit of 26%. Calculate the selling price of each bag of maize. Now we shall equate the ratios for part A to find the total mass of maize that was lost. So we have 15 over 16 is equals to, we don't know what 15 stands for, but we know 16 was the initial kilograms of maize. That is 450 bags multiplied by 112 kilogram. You get 60 for 18. So if we cross multiply and solve, we find the value of x is 56,700. Now subtract that from the initial maize kgs, kilograms. We find that the farmer lost 3,780 kilograms after the maize had dried. This may be the amount of moisture or some normal wastage. Now, part B, you have been told a trader bought the maize that are dried and repacked them into 90 kilograms. Now, we with a 90 kilogram of maize is equal to 1 bag. Now we have 56,700 kilogram. How many bags will be that be? We shall multiply 56,700 by 90, and we find that the bags will be 630 bags. Now we continue. We have been told that a lorry can only carry 120 of the 90 bags. So 120 is equals to one trip the lorry can make. What about 630? How many trips will the lorry make with 630 bags? We take 630 divided by 120. We find that the lorry will make 6 trips. So part 1 or part B, we have been asked determine the number of trips the lorry will make. So we conclude with 6 trips. Now, the last part we have been told to calculate the selling price of the bag. Now, we can do that. You can see at what I've done in the table. First of all, we find out how much did the trader used to buy those maize. So 630 bags, he bought a bag at 1,500. So multiplied by 630, we find that he bought all the maize at 945,000 shillings. And then he made 6 trips at 2,500 per trip. Multiplied by 6 by 2,500, we get that he spent 15,000 on trips. Now the total cost, we add the two, 945 and 15, we get 960,000. That's the total cost. Now we have been told that he made 26% profit. So this means he made 26% profit on his cost. So 126% of 960, we get the selling price. So he sold the maize at 1,209,600 shillings to make a profit of 26%. Now he had 630 bags. Now divide 630 bags by the selling price, we get that he was selling each bag at 1,920 shillings. So the cost of each bag of maize, the sales price was 1,920. Three business partners, Abila, Bwire, and Chirichil, contributed 120,000, 180,000, and 240,000 shillings respectively to boost their business. They agreed that 20% of the profit accrued would be taken back into the business, and they used 35% of the profit for running the business offshore operations. The remainder was to be shared among the partners in the ratio of their contribution. At the end of the year, a gross profit of Kenya shillings 225,000 was realized. A. Calculate the amount. A. Calculate the amount. 1. Put back into the business. 2. Used for official operations. B. Calculate the amount of profit each partner got. C. If the amount put back into the business was added to individuals' share proportionately to their initial contribution, find the amount of Churchill's new share. Now, the amount that was taken back into the business, just get 20% of the profit. This gives us 45,000. The amount that was to be used in the business for official purposes, we just take that 5% of the profit, which gives us 78,750. Now, what remains, we subtract 45,000, 78,750 from 225,000. We get that the amount that remained was 101,250 shillings. That amount has to be shared between the three partners in the ratio of their contribution. So Abila gets 2/9, which is 25,500. Bwire gets 1/3, which is 33,750, and Tichiri gets 4/9, which is 45,000. Now, the last part, per C, we have been told now if what was put back in the business was uh, added to their shares, what will be Chichi's shares? Now, what was put back in the business is 45,000. Now, divide by the ratio of their contribution. Abila gets 10,000. That is 45 multiplied by 2/9. Bwire gets 15,000. That is 1/3 multiplied by 45,000. And Chichir gets 4/9. Chichir gets 20,000, which is 4/9 multiplied by 45,000. Now we are concerned with Chirchil. Chirchil's initial share was 240,000. Now, what has been put back in the business on his behalf is 20,000. So 240 plus 20,000, we get it is 260,000. So Chirichiri's new share is 260,000. 260,000. Three business partners, Kosgei, Kimani, and Atieno, contributed 1.75 million shillings towards an investment. Kosgei contributed 20% of the money. Kimani and Atieno contributed the remainder in the ratio of 3 to 5 respectively. A. Calculate the amount of money Kimani contributed. And then part 2, find the ratio of contributions of the three partners. And then B, the money earned a compound interest at the rate of 10% per annum after 3 years. The partners then share the remainder in the ratio of their contribution. Calculate the amount of money to the nearest shilling that each partner received. Now, we subtract what Kosgei contributed from the amount of 1.75 million. Now, the amount that remains, we divide it into 3 to 5 ratio for Kimani and Atieno. So if we do so, we find Kosgei contributed 350, which has been given. Kimani 525, which have been found, and Atieno 875, which we also found. Now, if we equate whatever they contributed, or we divide each person's contribution by the original amount, 7.5 million, we get that the ratio contribution for Kosgei is 2/10, Kimani is 3/10, and Atieno is 5/10. Now, the money that they shared after it gained compound interest is 1.9 million. Kosgei got 396,809. Kimani got 595,214, and Atieno got 992,023. The cost of 1 liter of petrol is 110 shillings. John's vehicle covers 12 kilometers on a 1 liter of petrol. He used 2,805 on petrol travel from town A to B. Jane's vehicle consumes 12.5 liters of petrol for every kilometer traveled. Calculate the amount of money that Jane would use to travel from town A to B on the same road. Now let's work out the details of John's first. Now look at this. 1 liter represents 12 kilometers. Now how many liters did John use? If John spent 2,805 and 1 liter is 110 shillings, so 2,805 over 110 liters will be equivalent to 2,805 over 110 multiplied by 12, which means John traveled 306 kilometers. That is from town A to B. Now we continue. Look at it this way. Jane's vehicle consumes 12.5 liters of petrol for every 100 kilometers. So it means 100 kilometers represents 12.5 liters. Now what about 300 kilometers? Because Jane also travels the same distance. It will be 306 multiplied by 12.5 divided by 100, which means Jane consumed 38.25 liters from town A to B. But now, if 1 liter costs 110 shillings and Jane consumed 38.25 liters, so it will be 38.25 liters multiplied by 110 to get the amount that Jane spent on petrol, which is 4,207 and 50 cents. A conductor hired Wema and Tatu to transport 144 tons of stone to building sites A and B. To transport 48 tons of stones for a distance of 28 kilometers, the conductor paid 20. There's a mistake there. It should be 2,400, not 24,000. Now we are asked A. Wema transported 96 tons of stones to site A, a distance of 49 kilometers. Calculate the amount of money that was paid to Wema. But 2, for every 8 tons of stones Wema transported to site, he spent 3,000 shillings. Calculate the profit Wema made. B. Tat transported the remaining 48 tons of stones to site B, a distance of 84 kilometers. If Tat made 44% profit, calculate the amount of money Tat to spend to transport the stones. C. Determine the ratio of profit made by Wema to that made by Tatu. Now, part A of the question, let's calculate what Wema got. Now, look at this way. If 48 tons are transported for 28 kilometers, that is 2,400 shillings. Now, what will somebody get, or what will 1 shilling do? So, 1 shilling will be 48 multiplied by 28 all over 2,400. Now, if somebody is transporting 96 tons to a distance of 49 kilometers, it will mean we have to divide this by what 1 shilling will do, so that we get what we got. Now we shall divide 9649 by 48 times 28 over 2,400. That is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal of 48 multiplied by 28 over 2,400. Therefore, we have 96 multiplied by 49 multiplied by 2,400 divided by 48 over 28. We get that Wema was paid 84,000 shillings. Now, part A1, I've written part B1 total pay. Just ignore that. It's part A2 total pay. Wema got 84,000 shillings. Now, the cost of transporting, you have been told for every 8,000 tons, he paid 3,000 shillings. So he divided the total tons, 96,000 by 8,000, multiplied by 3,000, we get Wema spent 36,000 shillings. Now subtract that from 84, you get that Wema got a profit of 48,000 shillings. Now we have another transporter, that part B, you have been asked if he transported 48 tons to a distance of 84 kilometers, how much did he get? We do the same as we did for Wema. We shall have to divide 48 and 84 by 48 times 28 over 2,400, which is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal of 48 times 28 over 200. So we shall have 48 multiplied by 84 multiplied by 2,400 over 48 multiplied by 28. We get that Tatu got 72,000 shillings. Now we are told Tatu made a profit of 44. So if we get a profit of 44 of 72, we have that the profit was 31,680. So subtract the profit from what he had received. You'll find that what remains is 40,320. So that's the amount he spent, or the cost of transporting 48 tons of stones to a distance of 84 kilometers. Now the last part, we have been asked to find the ratio of Wema to Tatu's profit. Now Wema got 48,000, Tatu got 4320. So simplify that. You can see 1920 divided by all the two numbers to have a simplified ratio of 25 to 21. So the ratio of Tatu to Wema is profits. The ratio of Tatu to Wema, their profit ratio is 25 to 21.